Blues and the LA Kings. For a report, here's Dave Strader and Brian Engblom.
All right, Liam, thanks very much. There's going to be a lot of talk about this matchup, how similar the teams are. A lot of talk about the goals against averages, the two best in the league during the regular season and the first round, the goalies. But the other conversation is how physical this series could become.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Could become. It's going to be right off the bat. I have no doubt about that. Both these teams play exactly the same way. They're going to run at each other from the drop of the puck, and it won't matter who starts it, but everybody will be involved. David Backes is their #1 center. He'll definitely be in there. Pietrangelo, he'll hit whenever he can as well, too. You got Green on the defense for Los Angeles Kings, and I guess, of course, Dustin Brown, who's one of the biggest, most physical players in the entire National Hockey League. This will be a rock'em, sock'em, black and blue game and series.
They met 4 times during the regular season, so you'd think there's some familiarity, but Daryl Sutter, the head coach of the Kings, pointed out that Alex Steen only played in the first 2 games of the 4-game series. Andy McDonald didn't play at all, so especially with Andy McDonald coming in, gives the Blues a different look.
Absolutely. It's not the same team when you put those 2 guys in. They're both really high-quality players, and Andy McDonald was terrific in the first series. He had 8 points, 6 of them on the power play. The power play revolved around Andy McDonald. He's not a very big guy, but he'll go into the tough areas all the time. But he's got a skill set that's right at the top of the food chain in the National Hockey League. He can make plays. He's got tremendous quickness, and he plays with a lot of energy. That's really important. Ken Hitchcock loves his team to play with energy. Andy McDonald brings that even on the power play.
And Ken Hitchcock, when asked about the layoff for both of these teams, he said, you know, watching that game last night, Nashville looked like they were a little bit rusty. Both teams will have plans to get their guys involved right from the opening faceoff.
Dave, Brian, thanks so much. We look forward to that game. Expect a goaltending duel. We expected one last night, too, with Pekka Rinne and Mike Smith. Here we have Brian Elliott and we have Jonathan Quick. Led the league in shutouts, led the league in goals against average and save percentage. Are we going to get a low-scoring game?
As much as it was a fluctuation last night and this afternoon about the goaltenders, I think Jonathan Quick and Brian Elliott will give what we expect, which is great goaltending. The question mark for the Los Angeles Kings, of course, is going to be, can they score goals? They were really starved for goals until they got Jeff Carter late in the season. The last few weeks, they really cranked up the offense. Carter was scoreless in the first round against Vancouver. He needs to do more, as does Dustin Brown and Anze Kopitar.
Yeah, it's going to be the goal scoring will be the issue, I think, for L.A. For St. Louis, it was a problem against the Kings during the regular season because of the play of Jonathan Quick. But I do think there's enough offensive weapons for Ken Hitchcock's Blues to cause enough problems against the L.A. Kings. I give the advantage to St. Louis based upon the depth that they have up front. And you talk about Andy McDonald having a great series. David Perron, another guy with some touch around the net. And David Backes hasn't woke up offensively yet. Just 1 goal in the first series against San Jose. Watch for him to be a major factor for St. Louis in getting pucks past Jonathan Quick.
Neither team was offensively explosive during the regular season. You would expect maybe a little bit more consistency from the top forwards for LA?
Well, it's playoff time. Goals are tough to come by. It doesn't really matter if they're consistent. It means if they're timely, I think that's more important.
We'll see the LA Kings, the St. Louis Blues. That is 7 p.m. Eastern over on NBC Sports Network. Our work here at the NHL Live studios done for now. We'll see you back on NBC Sports Network. But coming up, heading back to Madison Square Garden, Doc, Edzo, and Pierre, the wrap-up. Rangers win Game 1 against the Caps, 3-1 the final.